各位的昨天拜会上的官方还是做了基本上的现场用下来一样的，他们消化外界真相或者是会比较而且这个华府第二天大概在在还有说效果在这个华府
旁边或后面我会做是说旁边或后面，因为这样子的话，媒体会高在这边移动，好些太高。那边好，那边保留是我的位置。这，因为媒体都这样边要拍摄。那边请，那。
趁现在那个偷渡一下，站一下，金牌快一点啦！OK， 谢谢。当然。
谢的。
你等一下问我，等一下，对啊，4颗，因为我是哪一组的？就还有4颗，因为我是怕我不够用，所以我先。
And it's on.
我将梦是看我比较积极。他们进不来，他们进不来。对，好多人，进不来，很多人来。
就是要太极那些话都重复了一遍，那个都有直播。做这哈，甭做到那么口。哎呦，天哪！拉进来了吧？不知道。那个场地太小 ，overflow。
Welcome everyone to the Heritage Foundation. I'm Walter Logan, Director of our Asian Studies Center here. I appreciate you coming out for this address. It gives me great pleasure to welcome to Heritage Stage the Mayor of Taipei City,柯文哲, the now two-term mayor. Dr. Ko brings quite a different background and perspective to his job. And I know he's going to talk about that at some length here shortly. But for any of you who don't know, and it looks like everyone in here probably does know, he's not really a politician. He's a doctor. He's former head of the intensive care unit at National Taiwan University Hospital, among other things, other accomplishments in the medical field. He wasn't elected to a public office until 2014 when he became mayor of Taipei City, and then he was just re-elected again this past fall. So I'm really interested, and I'm sure you're interested as well, in hearing how his non-political and his medical career informs the perspective he brings to Taiwanese politics and Taiwanese current developments. But I'm also interested to hear his views on Taiwan's international priorities, the cross-straits relationship, the relationship with the United States. He's very much a local guy, but everyone in Taiwan has some kind of opinion on these issues, and I'm sure he's no different in that regard. And that's, of course, what Washington, I think, is most interested to hear, too. That is what his views are on international developments, cross-straits, U.S. relations, etc. So however much he gets into that presentation, I hope we can take a couple questions at the end. We'll have enough time, and we can get into those issues as well. So without any further ado, let me introduce Mayor柯文哲.
Mr. Logan, ladies and gentlemen, okay, I'm Taipei City Mayor柯文哲, and it's my great honor, okay, to be here to give a short talk, okay. And today my topic is present situation and prospects for Taiwan, okay. First of all, may I introduce myself? After I graduated from senior high school, I went to medical school, National Taiwan University Hospital, and I studied there for 7 years. Because in Taiwan, we combine the program of university and the medical school together. It is a 7-year program. I studied medical school for 7 years. Then thereafter, okay, 2 years of military service in the army. After that, I returned to the Department of Surgery at the National Taiwan University Hospital to be a resident. And I worked there for 5 years. After that, I became a research fellow in the surgical department of the University of Minnesota. Okay, I worked there for 1 year. Then I returned to National Taiwan University Hospital to be a staff in the surgical department. And I worked as a surgeon for 20 years. And in 2014, suddenly I became the mayor of Taipei City, okay. And when I left the hospital, at the time, okay, I was a director of surgical intensive care unit. And I was a professor in a medical school, okay. So I have a nickname in Taiwan, called柯P. P means professor. And up to now, okay, I still think myself as a scholar, not a politician. So if possible, please check my name, KOWJ, Taiwan in Midland, okay. And you can find a lot of publication a month. And I was responsible for trauma program, organ donation program, organ transplantation program, ECMO program. ECMO is a kind of artificial heart and lung, okay. And I was responsible for surgical emergency service. In a word, I was a surgical critical care specialist. Then, in 2014, I became the mayor of Taipei City. People always ask me, okay, why? I ran for the election campaign for Taipei City mayor, okay. Anyway, to me, okay, life is always a surprise, also. So I don't want to talk too much about this story. In 2014, my slogan in election campaign, in order to change Taiwan, you must change Taipei. In order to change Taipei, you must change culture. To me, election campaign is only a social movement based on culture. And to me, okay, I hope to run a campaign to change political culture in Taiwan. This is my slogan. And this is what you could want. This is what you could find in the Taiwan election campaign in the past, okay. A lot of banners, flags in the street, okay. And this, okay. No matter you like or dislike, this is the situation. However, in 2014, when I ran my campaign, I tried to do something. I tried to do something new. For example, we refused flags and banners. We said no. Okay. And we refused to buy advertisement and the news. You know, in Taiwan, news is produced, not reported. Okay, so we refused to buy advertisement and the news. And we refused to bribe media owners and the pundit. In Taiwan, there are many guys who make a living in a night talk show on TV. Okay, I believe they are troublemakers in Taiwan. And I refuse to bribe these troublemakers to win the election. And my own personal properties, assets, tax statements, and the bank account information were open to the public. I try to let people know this information. And my own campaign expenses information was open to the public. Okay. And I believe, okay, we raise money for campaign, not make money from campaign. So, when I thought it was enough for me to run a campaign, I stopped fundraising 1 month before the election. We refused fancy but unreal policies to bribe voters. Okay. In a word, I hope we can make people to believe. We can make people believe what they should believe. So, I hope I am not a political leader. I hope I am a cultural preacher. I try to make Taiwan people believe what they should believe. And finally, we won the election, and I became the mayor of Taipei City. Someone asked me, okay, why Taipei citizens chose you to be the mayor? My answer is because they were so desperate. They were tired of political party fighting in the past 20 years in Taiwan. They were tired of it, okay. So they thought, since there is no better choice, maybe we can try something new, okay. This is why they chose me, okay. In fact, what people need is a better life, maybe a better living standard, that's all, okay. So my goal is very simple. I try to establish a right society in which the government is reliable. Public officials are to serve people. Laws are for people to follow, not for your reference. And of course, justice must be fair. And the cops are to catch the bad guys, not people in the opposite parties. And if you are put in a jail, that is because you are guilty, not because you are powerless. Okay. So to me, political goals are very simple. Okay. To try to establish a normal society. The government should be reliable. I mean, people must believe what the government says. If people don't believe what the government says, there will be a lot of problems. So the government should be reliable. And the public officials are to serve people, not to lead, to manage, to control people. So I hope Taipei city government should be an organization to serve people. Laws are for people to follow, not for your reference. In Taiwan, it is not, how to say it is not decent to obey the law. This is a big problem. Okay, laws are for people to follow, not for your reference only. Justice must be fair. Justice cannot be a political tool. Okay, unfortunately, this is still a problem in Taiwan. Cops are to catch the bad guys. Okay, and finally, if you are put in a jail, that is because you are guilty, not because you are powerless. So, my political principles are very simple. Do the right thing, do things right, and work hard. And that's all. Okay. When, in fact, I have been a director of surgery and test. Sorry. In fact, I had been the director of surgical intensive care unit at the National Taiwan University Hospital for 17 years before I became a mayor. And I can tell you, okay, what is the difference between a mayor and the SIU director? To be an SIU director, you don't need soft power. What is hard power? Okay, I force you to follow my rule. What is soft power? I persuade you to believe my idea. To be a surgeon, to be an SIU director, I don't need soft power. I just force you to follow my rule. However, to be a mayor of Taipei City, it's impossible to use hard power only. I must persuade you to believe me, to believe in my idea. I must persuade you to do something. So, in the Taipei City mayor, you need 80,000 officials to serve people. Then, through the Taipei City government, okay, you can influence the whole Taiwan. So it's impossible to use hard power only to lead the big population. You need soft power. And in my own opinion, soft power is much powerful than hard power. How about Taiwan value? Many people asked me this question. And to me, universal value realized in Taiwan are Taiwan value. Taiwan value includes democracy, freedom, diversity, openness, rule of law, human rights, sustainability, and care for the underprivileged. These are universal values, and I believe them. Among them, the core values are democracy and freedom. What is democracy? The nation should be owned by all people. Every citizen has a right to participate in politics. This is democracy. Freedom. The freedom should be based on tolerance. However, the limit of freedom is not to invade other people's freedom. Diversity. Taiwan is an immigrant society, so diversity is very important. You must tolerate something different from you. So diversity is very important to an immigrant society like Taiwan. Openness. Open your mind to the whole world. You need to accept and respect something different from you. So openness is another value. Rule of law. A nation should be ruled by laws, okay, not by persons, okay. human rights, to treat human rights as human rights. When I was a doctor, okay, I always told my students, okay, to treat patients as patients. This means what? What does this mean? Okay, no matter they are men or women, no matter they are black or white, no matter they are old or rich, they are patients. So, as a doctor, you treat patients as patients. The same idea applies to my role as a mayor, to treat citizens as citizens. Okay, no matter who they are, no matter they are from, no matter which party they belong to. Okay, they are citizens. So you treat citizens as citizens. It's human right. Sustainability. We favor green policy. We favor environment protection policy. We always see what kind of Taiwan we should bring to the next generation. Okay, so treat our own problem in our generation. Care for underprivileged. To care for the poor is not because of mercy, but because of self-protection. There are too many underprivileged persons in your society surrounding you. Okay, you are in danger. So, to care for poor is not for mercy, but for self-protection. And there are three factors in your policy decision making: public opinion, science, and value. Of course, we are not against the majority. So public opinions are very important in our decision making. Okay, science. Try to be a scientist, not fortune teller. Okay. Policy should be based on science. Okay, your policy should be scientific. And finally, value. Value are something very subjective. However, I believe it's the values that distinguish between different parties. Okay, so, and what kind of value? I mean, every day you exchange something in your daily life, something you keep in your mind, and you never exchange. That's your value. So, to me, I believe in universal values. Okay, in a word, public opinion, science, and value. These three factors, you use these three factors to decide your policy. If you wanted to know someone, you had better check his past history, okay, past his career, because one's behavior is heavily influenced by his past experience. I was a surgical critical care specialist, so this is why I am a foreign body. Okay, I am in Taiwan politics. I am much different from most politicians in Taiwan. Maybe I can say most politicians in this world. Okay, but why I'm so unique? First of all, as a surgeon, of course, I'm very practical. For example, the pre-operation diagnosis is large intestine perforation, and when you open the belly and you find, okay, you find a small intestine perforation. Okay, which organs will you operate on? Small intestine or large intestine? Of course, small intestine, because the main purpose is to save the patient, not to keep your operation procedure. So we must change according to the situation. So I changed my operation procedure with only a purpose to save the patient's life. Okay. So as a surgeon, we must be very practical. The same as a mayor, we can change, but with only one purpose: to achieve the way. I mean, to pursue the well-being of the people. I believe the outcome decides. Okay, the same. What is important is to save the patient's life, not to maintain your not to insist on your operation procedure. Okay, and accuracy. You know, in ICU or emergency, we take turns to care for a patient. So we must trust each other. So honesty is a necessary part in the, how to say, in the teamwork. If there is no, without honesty, okay, it's impossible to trust each other. Without the trust, it's impossible to be a team. And without the team, it's impossible to care patients in ICU or emergency. So, accuracy, honesty, okay. These values are highly emphasized, highly appreciated in ICU or emergency. Quickness. Of course, as a surgeon, you must be quick. This is why I eat quickly, or quickly. In fact, I do everything quickly, okay. If the heart stops for more than 5 minutes, no matter what you do, it's nothing. Because once the brain, once there is no blood flow to your brain for more than 5 minutes, you will be brain dead. So no matter what you do, the outcome is, how to say, is very poor. So we must be quick. We must do something in time, at least in time, okay. And the professionalism, of course, as a medical professor, I believe and respect professionalism, okay. This is why I insist the policy should be based on science. We must be scientists, not fortune tellers, okay. Evidence-based medicine. We practice based on evidence-based medicine. This means data. Without statistics, it's impossible for you to make a reasonable judgment. So we need the data to judge. Communication. Communication is a necessary part in your clinical practice. You must communicate with your patient's family, or even your own team members. So without communication, it's impossible to practice in medicine. Hippocratic oath. This is human rights, okay. We treat patients as patients, no matter they are young or old, no matter they are white or black, no matter they are men or women, okay. We treat patients as patients. And finally, hardworking. From my point of view, okay, most politicians are too lazy. Okay. As a surgeon, of course, we are hardworking. So, my idea is that politics should be realized in people's daily life. If we can treat all small problems well, there will be no big problems. Okay. And these are mandate, vision, and the core value of Taipei City government. First of all, mandate. There are two mandates to serve the citizens, to introduce innovation to the city. As I have said, okay, I hope that Taipei City government is an organization to serve people, not to lead, to control, to manage people. Second, innovation. I believe innovation is the only way for Taiwan to survive in the future, because we don't have rich natural resources in Taiwan. Vision, to make Taipei a livable and a sustainable city. Livable means the politics should be realized in people's daily life. I mean, simple, okay? And sustainable, this means we favor green policy, environment protection. We must always seek what kind of Taiwan we will bring to the next generation. Core value. Righteousness, integrity, openness, willingness to share, and innovation, and excellence, and teamwork. What I want to say is, teamwork without righteousness and integrity is called an accomplished structure. 这个没有正直诚信的团队合作叫做共犯结构。This is my belief. Okay. Okay. What we have done in Taipei, we favor green policy. We favor environmental protection policy. In Taipei, we banned on using disposable and melamine tableware. As you can find it in this table. After these policies were implemented, okay, the paper garbage the amount of paper waste decreased by 78%, and the amount of plastic waste decreased by 68%. In the past, we produced a lot of garbage, then burned them to increase PM 2.5. This is why lung cancer is the #1 killer in Taiwan. Okay, why we don't decrease amount of garbage from the beginning? So we ban the use. we ban the use of disposable tableware. Green policies are highly appreciated in Taipei City now. Okay, and this is what you can find. Okay. In the past, there were a lot of cars and motorcycles on both sides of the street, and now there is parking space on one side, and the pedestrian walkway on the other side. Okay, and after this policy were implemented, okay, we can decrease number of traffic accidents by 58%, and the traffic accident causality decreased by 47%. As you can find here, okay, parking space on one side, pedestrian walkway on the other side. Now, the citizen can walk more safely in the street. This is trivial. However, it can save a lot of citizens' life, okay, because we can decrease traffic accident and traffic accident causality. In my first term, I decreased the debt by 53 billion. Okay, and we can decrease the interest by 2.1 billion. Okay, there are two key points I want to mention here. First of all, debts okay must be paid. If I don't need to pay you the debt, okay, I will borrow money from you right now. Second, debt interest will be added onto the debt, and thereafter increase your debt. Okay. So, my idea, okay, never leave debts to the next generation. So. And many people ask me, okay, why can you save so much money? My answer is very simple, okay. Do the right thing, do things right, and work hard. Taipei City is very, how to say, friendly and open. And as you can find here, okay, every year there were more than 50,000 Muslims, okay, gathered in Taipei station, main station, to celebrate with their families and their friends for the festival of the Fast Walking, okay, or fast breaking. Can you imagine? Is there any city in this world, non-Muslim city, okay, to have so many Muslims gathering together to celebrate for festival of fast breaking? So this is the evidence. Taipei City is very open and friendly. And in 2017, we hosted Summer University 8. There are more than 100 nations sending delegations to Taiwan to attend this meeting, to attend this event. Okay, Taiwan is eager to make friends with all nations in the world. Taiwan is capable of hosting a big event, okay. And this is okay. And anyway, okay. Summer University 8 is the, how to say, the biggest event ever hosted by Taiwan, okay. And anyway, we prove, okay, Taiwan can do something big, okay. Taipei-Shanghai City border, okay. At this moment, this is the only official communication channel, okay, between Taiwan and mainland China, okay. And some people ask me, okay, why I keep this city border going, okay. This is my idea, quite mutual. Mutual knowing mutual understanding, mutual respecting, mutual cooperating, and mutual compromising. We must know each other. Then we can understand each other. We must respect each other. Then we can cooperate with each other. And finally, sometimes, not sometimes, always, we need to compromise with each other to keep things going. Okay, this is my attitude to cross-strait relation. To know each other, to understand each other, to respect each other, and to cooperate with each other. And finally, always, we need to compromise with each other to keep things going. And I believe, okay, to deal with the smaller power, one must be kind. To deal with the big powers, one must be wise. No matter what China will do, Taiwan must be wise. Okay. However, recently I visited Israel, and I learned one lesson from there. Okay. In addition to being wise, one must be strong to survive. Okay. So, in the future, Taiwan must be wise and strong. 3 months ago, I won a re-election, okay. And at that time, okay, my campaign slogan, progress, value, and glorious city. If possible, if there is a choice, we should choose the progressive side, okay. And a city can be glorious. Only its citizen can participate in its success, okay. Okay, finally, into the future of Taiwan. I believe there will be many problems, many challenges for us to treat in the future. However, to face the problem is the first step to treat the problem. We must face the problem honestly. However, if we can put well-being of people as the first one priority, I believe there should be less problem, no matter between Taiwan and the mainland China, or between different parties in Taiwan, or between Taiwan and the United States. If we can put the well-being of people as the first one priority. And finally, there are 2 key factors for Taiwan to survive in the future: economy and the defense. Only with good economic growth, then Taiwan's people can have a better life, can have a higher living standard. Only with good economic growth can we afford national defense. So, economy and the defense are 2 key factors for Taiwan to survive in the future. I lived in America for 1 year. I was a research fellow in surgical department of the University of Minnesota. Okay, I know that the United States is a great country, and I believe Taiwan and the United States share the same value, which bind us together. And I love American style. I love American life. Okay, and I believe this is my deep belief. We share the same value, and which binds together. Which bind us together. So, up to now, Taiwan has been a successful story, okay, and it's very difficult, if not impossible, for Taiwan to become a democratic and free country if there was no support from the United States. Without your support, it would be very difficult for Taiwan to become a democratic and free country. I believe we share the same value, which bind us together. I hope in the future we can cooperate together to advance. Okay. This is the last slide. Okay. I come here to learn from the word. I hope to know this word, and I hope Taiwan known to the word. Okay. So I have my own ideas. Perhaps they are not mature, but with your comment, with your suggestion, I believe, okay, Taiwan can become from good to great. So, any suggestion or commenters are welcome. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mayor. Mayor has agreed to take some questions. We've got about 20 minutes. If I could start, I wanted to, again, talk a little bit more about the international side of things. You said many things in your presentation that were encouraging for people like myself, Heritage Foundation, our partners in town who support Taiwan very strongly. You said a lot of encouraging things about U.S. relationship, et cetera. But I wanted to ask you a little bit more about the cross-straits situation, because in your talk you said something about treating small problems early so they don't become big problems. The issue is that every president of Taiwan, blue or green, comes to power with already a chronic situation. And that's that Beijing thinks that Taiwan is a part of the PRC. And all of its approach to Taiwan, everything it does with regard to Taiwan flows from that proposition. So how do you deal with that if you're in a position of power in Taiwan? How would you deal with that sort of situation?
还是你把它翻译一遍，来用中文回答。
谢谢市长今天来到这边，然后您的这个谈话非常有一些有兴趣的地方。那但是呢，对于您刚刚的报告里面呢，我有一个问题，就是您刚刚有讲到说很多问题在从它还是小问题的时候，先处理它就不会变成大问题。但是对台湾来说呢，一直都有一个问题，不论我们的总统是哪一位，不论蓝绿，但是一直都有一个长期的问题，那就是北京一直宣称说台湾是中国的一部分。那在这样子的的前提之下呢，你觉得在台湾要面对怎么样去怎么样解
决？其实我倒觉得今天台湾跟大陆之间最大的问题是双方已经没有互信了。所以当国民党在讲9·2共识的时候，虽然国民党的9·2共识是一中各表，可是大陆的9·2共识是一中，所以事实上国民党的9·2共识也没有被大陆接受。那民进党特别是蔡英文总统在讲维持现状，可是有一句话你知道吗？ What is important is not what you say or what you do, but what I feel。所以现在一个很大问题就是说，当蔡英文总统在说维持现状的时候，可是北京政府他看到是你在搞去中国化，你在搞去讲话，所以他还是很不高兴的。所以今天一个很大的问题就是说，不管是国民党或民进党，现在在跟大陆方面是完全没有办法对话的。所以我倒是觉得这样啊。所以这一次来美国，你知道，我也访问过很多的 think tank 智库，其实大家看法都一样，台湾跟大陆之间是有barrier， 是有障碍的，是不同的，这是一个事实。但是我还是为什么要提出5个互相的？因为5个互相，第一个是互相认识。你如果都 you don't try to know each other, how can you understand each other? Not to mention, to respect or cooperate. 所以他是讲，为什么在两岸上态度上，我还是主张说，即使有争执、有障碍的，但是不要完全断掉双方的 communication。那这也是一个很大的事实，就是说，其实很难在世界上找到这样一个例子，就是说，我可以全部讲到完，那我把全部讲完。很难在世界上找到一个例子，就是说经济上如此紧密然后在政治上如此互相敌意。事实上你要知道，台湾目前有38万的陆配，有200万的台湾人在大陆。然后去年台湾对大陆出超850亿美金，所以老实讲，两边事实上还是有相当的来往，紧密的来往。在这个状态下呢，如果双方都是用那种互相仇视的态度，我觉得这对两岸之间不是好事。那我也是很不幸的，就是说我一直反对用仇恨当作政治的动力，用对立当作政治的手段。所以在这个两岸关系上，你知道吗？我倒觉得是这样的开始对话，你知道吗？重新能不能建立互信，这才是第一步。
I think today the cross-strait relations have a problem, which is that there is no trust left between Taiwan and China. The KMT's version of the 1992 consensus is saying that it's one China, two interpretations. However, for CCP, the one China is just one China. And in other words, the KMT's claim is not really well accepted by China either. And as to DPP's President Tsai's status right now is to maintain the status quo. This is, of course, not taken by China either. I think what's important right now is not what you say or what you do, is rather how you make me feel. And for China, from China's aspect, Tsai Ing-wen is trying to remove China out of the picture, trying to remove Chiang Kai-shek out of the picture, and this is not working. So no matter which party or whoever takes office, there is no communications. Therefore, for me, in this trip, what I have learned from many think tanks out of experts is that Taiwan and China are indeed different, but it is a fact. And that is why I propose the 5 neutrals. We need to know each other, we need to respect each other, and in other words, in that case, then we can cooperate and compromise with each other. Therefore, I feel that we should put all the arguments aside and then do not stop the efforts to try to talk and communicate with each other. And it is a fact that Taiwan and China are two economically closed sides. However, politically, they are hostile. There are 380,000 Chinese wives in Taiwan, and there are 2 million Taiwanese business in China right now. And to clarify, and then there is a trade deficit of $85 billion to China from Taiwan. This is not a good situation. And that's why I am against hatred or confrontation against China. I believe that we need to rebuild that trust through talks. And that's my first point.
It's going to be a very long day for the interpreter. Let me take questions from the audience. Any questions? Right here in the corner. If you wait 1 second, I'll bring you a microphone. Please identify yourself.
Sure, thank you. Thank you, Mayor Koch. My name is Sean from WQER Radio. And Mayor, regarding about Huawei's infiltration, the United States has become very serious on these issues. And I know that Huawei is very active in Taipei, and even for the coming World Smart City Conference next week in Taipei, Huawei is playing an important role. I just wondering, do you have any particular policy or measures to protect the data security for Taipei citizens? Thank you.
华为现在美国呢，他们已经重视到说华为对我们的那个网络安全的严重侵害。那么下个月在台北将有一个穆斯林的会议。那不知道说在台北的市政府方面，对于保护台北市民的数据安全有什么样子的政策？
Cyber security is really a problem. 事实上，在这一次访美之前，我们办公室的电脑就被骇客侵入，而且老实讲，那个被侵犯的电脑是相当的精准，所以表示说，这个骇客不仅是外面来的，是我们里面自己就有内贼，因为他怎么知道哪几个人是管出国行程的？我连我作为台北市长都不知道，所以这样的骇客这个问题是这样的，不一定是从外国来，有时候甚至是自己内部的，当然就是一个问题。关于美国跟中国的贸易大战，这个 no matter you like or dislike, this is the situation, this is the mainstream, OK。那台湾夹在中间，的确是相当为难的，坦白讲。不过是这样的就以台北市政府的立场，你知道 是不是在台湾要禁用华为的产品我们还是会遵守中央政府的命令。就是作为一个地方政府，我们还是会遵守国家政策。但是这有一句话呢，就是说，这个为什么我会讲说 we must be wise， 就是说，其实美中大战大概是我说贸易大战不是真的武力大战，美中贸易大战大概是无法避免的。这也是我这一次访美发现的，不管是参议院众议院，不管是民主党或共和党，不管是中央政府或地方政府，事实上整个美国现在的气氛就是不要说缓中了，至少是黄中了。所以中国是相当，所以美中对抗的局势大概是已经形成了。至于台湾如何在这种局势下find a niche to survive, this is a good question。这就是我们需要思考的地方。
So cybersecurity is indeed a problem. Just before I visited the United States, our Taipei office was actually hacked, and then the hackers were very specifically targeting those computers that handle this foreign visit issue. So I was suspecting that not only there were external hackers, maybe we had also someone from the inside. And so as a Taipei mayor, this is not something acceptable. And for us, for me, I think the U.S.-China trade tension is already forming. And no matter we like it or not, this is already a fact. And Taiwan, in between these two great powers, what are we going to do to survive? For Taipei City, with regards to the Huawei issue, Taipei City will follow whatever our central government's policy is, because Taipei is a municipal local level government. And that is also why I said that we need to be wise in taking measures. Because the trade war, not the war between U.S. and China is already here. And then I can feel this time from my visit is that regardless is in the Congress or is in the local or central government, we will not say that they're anti-China, but of course I can feel that there is already caution regarding these issues, and it does exist. So for us, for Taiwan, it's imperative that we find a niche for us to survive.
Other questions? This is gentleman far in the back there.
你好，我是大水水川，我水加州水。我的问题是，would you be able to speak more upon your visit to Israel and how that has affected your outlook on Taipei and Taiwan?
就是说，请你他是讲
到这里，你讲到这里。
请您谈一下您不久之前访问以色列，然后在那一趟的行程中间呢，对您对台北以及对台湾的想法有什么样的改变？
以色列还是一个相当，这个我这个录影已经有了，影片有说明，以色列还是一个相当怎么讲聪明的国家，就是说它不管产业、国防、教育都是连成一线，它的外交部要做什么事情都是相当有计划。所以我就说它是一个 West Country。OK， 我在昨天你知道哈，我有访问那个 APEC American Israel Public Affairs Council APEC， 就是以色列类似台湾的花塔，就是它以色列的花塔。OK， 我这样形容。哇，我发现它里面它有一整栋大楼8层楼，里面有300个工作人员。所以他的确是相当有组织，不过坦白讲也相当有钱的，因为我们台湾的花法里面的话雇不到6个人了，他这里就雇了，他这随便雇就300个人，我实在是吓到。而且他各个分会他跟我说他美国100个参议员，435个众议员，每一个人都有负责的人，我一听就哇，这实在是真有钱，对不对？而且不会去炮火。那坦白讲台湾不可能资源那么多的，所以还是一句话wise and strong， 就是说，其实我对以色列看过一个就是说，以色列可以在这阿拉伯国家 survive 下去，它还是有它成功的地方。They are smart and they are strong， 所以 West and Strong， 我还是为什么在这个演讲当中，这是台湾在未来要做的事情。
So I have said a lot in my previous videos regarding my trip to Israel. For me, I think Israel is a very smart country. No matter is the industry, is the education, or the defense, it's all connected. And the Department of State has a lot of things planned ahead. And just yesterday, I visited the APEC, which is the equivalent of the Israeli FAFA, if that helps you understand better. It is a tall building, and it has 8 floors, and it employs 300 people, which is quite a difference in comparison with our FAFA. And the gentleman told me that for them, for the Israeli the lobby efforts, they have people designated to help to lobby locally with the U.S. senators and congresspersons. Taiwan, in fact, does not have that sort of kind of resource, and that is why that we have to be wise while be strong. Israel is a very great country to be able to survive being surrounded by Arab countries. And it is smart and strong, and that is something that in the future Taiwan should take lessons from.
Yeah, great. We have a microphone coming.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Mayor Kerr. My name is Menghu Yu, with China Reviewing News Agency of Hong Kong. 我用中文来问问题。我是香港中评社的记者。那个市长，您刚刚讲到，就是说，两岸目前最重要的是透过这个对话来重建这种信任。那我的问题是，如何能够重启这种对话？因为我们都看到过去2年多，这两岸形势这个官方的沟通完全的这个停顿。那么您和上海之间的这种双城论坛之所以能进行，是因为您提出了两岸一家亲的这种论断。那我想问的是说，在这个大选即将来临的时候，您给这个候选人有什么样的在这方面有什么样的建议？如果您自己加入这个选战的话，您会提出什么样的建议
？You should dare to English.
So you have emphasized the importance to start talking to rebuild that trust. So my question is, how are you going to start that talk? In the past 2 years, especially over the past 2 years, there is no actual discussion or communications going officially. Your Twin City Forum with Shanghai City is the official channel right now, and then you have proposed the 2 sides of the across the strait are friendlies. And I wonder, upon the upcoming election, and with all the candidates, what would you recommend, or what kind of recommendations would you make to the candidates? And if you decide to run, how are you going to deal with this problem?
第一点所谓过去2年的两岸僵局，这也是一个很好的题目的。应该是坦白讲到现在这个阶段，因为双方没有互信，你知道吗？如果要用英文来讲，它叫 impasse， 就是已经僵局了，不晓得怎么办。所以有时候要反省的是说，如果重来一遍，回到2016年有没有一个什么样的方法可以让不要走到今天这个局面 ？OK， 那回答你的话呢？我倒觉得是这样嘛，两岸一家亲，为什么当时会讲这个？因为我在2010年我就讲，因为它是一种 attitude， 我先表达说我是友善 ，I'm friendly, I'm open, OK, we can talk. Of course, we know there are many difficulties between us, but however, I am willing to talk with you now, with an attitude of openness and friendliness. 所以开放跟友善是一种态度。那我也认为说后来我也常常想说，因为去以色列呢，你想想看从十字军东征到现在呢，我想已经超过700年了吧。基督徒跟回教徒的问题也没有解决啊。你去那个耶路撒冷看，那以色列人跟犹太人跟巴勒斯坦人那个争执，我看也几百年也没有解决。 所以也就是说，有时候我们不要幻想说，在很短的时间内可以解决掉所有问题。但是这样的善意这也是作为一个医生的信念。常说我当医生，你知道，我们对病人好病人是一定对我们好，当然是不一定，但是99.5%的事。所以我活在世界上，不要为0.5%的放弃99.5%。所以回答你的话就是说，开放的态度跟友善的态度，这还是第一步的。那坦白讲，只有透过交流才会有信任。当彼此都没有信任的时候，讲什么都没有用。这是我知道今天两岸之间最大的问题，就是已经完全没有信任。因为我非常清楚两边的态度。
So over the past 2 years, the cross-strait relations have been hitting the bottom, and there is no trust left. I can say that this is like that we have fell into an impasse. So I have been wondering, should we dial the time back to 2019? What could we have done differently to change this situation? And to answer your question, the reason why that I proposed that I mentioned the two sides across the strait are families was because I want to deliver the friendliness, and to let them know that there are indeed differences and difficulties between us, but we are willing to talk. We want to use the open and friendliness to build that relation. Just like I have told my doctors in the hospital, when we treat our patients, most of the time, 99% of the time, we will receive that wellness back. The patients will understand us, but there are that 0.5% of patients who may not take our goodwills very nicely. But do you still treat them? You still do. So in my mindset is I want to maintain that openness and that friendliness to build trust through communications and talks. And without the trust, there will be no further progress. And that is what, and then right now, between the two sides across the strait, there is no trust.
There's one final question here, and in front. I have a microphone over here. It's coming.
Joey from with the BBC News. 市长你好，我留意到你刚刚回答中美关系紧张的问题的时候，你提到台湾去 survive 是你在想的问题，同时也提到说台湾的 strategy 应该是 wise and strong。我想请你再多说一点，你觉得在中美台三角的角力之下，你觉得台湾的战略应该是怎么样？在现在这个时刻。另外，你刚刚提到两岸之间要建立互信，这是第一步。之后你想要谈些什么呢？你觉得两岸之间有什么 common topics？ 谢谢。
So you have mentioned that there is tension building between the United States and China, and Taiwan has to survive between the two great powers. And to do that, we need to be wise and strong. Could you elaborate a little bit upon that? And then also in this triangle relationship right now between among China, Taiwan, and the U.S., what are the strategies to be implemented? And you have also mentioned that we need to build mutual trust between Taiwan and China. So what are you going to do next after building the trust?
那首先回答，在民众对抗的状态下，他会常常不会记住。有一点有时候这个就有点尴尬。有时候开玩笑，跟那些美国智库人讲说，买hardware is made in China， how you make software is made in the United States。就是说我们跟中国也许是同文同种，可是很明显的，我们价值理念是跟美国比较接近的。所以在这个问题上，我倒觉得这样有一点我们是反而自己要 cautious， 要小心，就是说。美中对抗那是一个局面 ，OK， 但是台湾应当想的是说，我们如何 survive， 而不是说想要利用这个做任何的 leverage， 这反而是我们自己要克制的，特别是在国内的政治当中，你看，所以还是一样人民的福祉还是最优先考量。如果没有把人民的福祉拿到第一优先，开始在想说政党怎么去利用这种美中对抗来当做 leverage 这很难叫杠杆。那反而是对台湾不利，所以这样这个亲美友中，这是基本战略。 在态度上我们还是亲美，但是我们也没有故意去跟中国把它当敌人，所以亲美友中大概就是我觉得是台湾最适当的国家战略，亲美友中。但事实上美日是一体的，所以亲美日友中大概。那这个是对美国的态度。那也在讲说，跟大陆之间你看到底要谈什么？我觉得这样这也是以前人家在跟我讲说，当年那个服贸协定为什么会倒砸？为什么不从货贸开始？因为从服贸开始。所以有时候人家在批评说，这就是把财团的利益或是政党的利益挂在地顺，所以是这样。并没有人反对说台湾跟中国有贸易往来，可是台湾人民当在太阳花学院真正反对的是，这种双方贸易的往来的利益不应当是被少数买办把持，这才是台湾人民当时会生气的地方。所以坦白讲，回到服贸那个太阳花学院引起的那个事件，为什么当时是服贸先而不是货贸先？那到底是为了谁的利益？为什么才引起太阳花学运？所以还是那一句话，我觉得是台湾的政治人物，我真的是能够把人民的福祉为了平等的 people， 把人民的福祉拿到第一顺位来，其实很多问题是可以避免掉的。
So to answer your first question, the U.S.-China confrontation is a fact, and I have told the friends in the U.S. that our hardware is made in China and our software is made in Taiwan.
United States.
In the United States. By that I mean that that we share the same language with China. However, we share the same values with that of the United States. And so for us, we need to be careful about that too. With the current U.S.-China confrontation situation, how is Taiwan going to survive? And we need to be careful even for the domestic politics. We do not manipulate our relationship with the United States to our own benefit. We should completely refrain from that. And we need to put the people's well-being as our top priority rather than using it as a leverage to gain political interests. So my position is to be close to the U.S. while being friendly to China. We do not want to treat China as an enemy, and this is, for me, the best policy. And when we are close to the United States, that also means that we are close to Japan, because U.S. and Japan are allies in this regard. And to answer your second question, what are we going to talk with China? Let me go back to ACFA, which that was very controversial a few years ago. Back then, it also caused the sunflower movement, and that is why a lot of people were wondering, why did we start with the trade from the agreement? Why didn't we start with the products first? And so for a lot of people who participate in the sunflower movement, it was because they felt the interest was falling into the very few of those that are benefiting from this agreement. Those are in the parties or in some big corporates. And so again, like I said, if we put people's interest as our top priority, then that is what politicians should do.
I'm afraid we have to leave it there. Please join me in thanking Mayor Ko for taking his time to be with us today. No, glad to.
我已经被他圈粉了。我觉得你前面自己位置